Okay, mathematicians, it is time to take a look at your math puzzler from last week. This was math puzzler number 2. So it says Bob has $212.49 in his bank account. Sue has $165.25 in her account. Bob spends $8.48 every week, and Sue always deposits $4.88 each week. By the end of 5 weeks, who will have more money? And how much more money does that person have? Explain your thinking. All right, so key information here is going to be that Bob is the proud owner of $212.49, at least to start. Other important information is Sue. Sue, there she is, and she's got $165.25 in her account. Here's another key fact. Bob spends $8.48 every week, and Sue always deposits $4.88 each week. By the end of 5 weeks, obviously that's important information, who will have more money? Okay, so the first step that many of you did was to take $8.48 for Bob, $8.48, and you multiplied it by 5, and that was a smart move. You could have very easily decided to add $8.48 5 times, but this is a time saver right here. We multiply anytime that we want to add something repeatedly. Multiplying is faster. So 848 times 5. And you're allowed to use calculators on this. So in this case, I would do $8.48 times 5. And that would be 42. And if you see the 0.4, some of you would remember from the last module that when you're dealing with money, there always will be 2 places after this decimal. So I have to add a 0. So he will, let me see, Bob spends $42.40 in a 5-week time period. Okay, so that's one piece of important information we needed. Next is Sue. Sue deposits $4.88 each week. So we can actually do the same operation, $4.88 times 5, and that will equal, let's get the calculator again, $4.88 times 5, and that's 24.4. Now remember, it's money, so you must add a 0 in that last place for the money, and that's for 5 weeks. Ooh, nice handwriting. There we go. Okay. So now we have 2 new pieces of information that are really important. The question is, by the end of 5 weeks, who will have more money? Okay, so I should label these so I know who's who. 848 was Bob, so I'm going to put a B over here so I don't lose track of my numbers. And then the 488 was Sue. Okay, so now I've got that straight. All right, so Bob had $212.49, and it says that, where's the information? He spends, see up here, he spends $8.48 every week. So I have to subtract, since he is spending, and I'm going to subtract $42 and 40 cents. Now this is one place where some of you who did this math by hand on paper made a mistake, and I think you didn't line up your decimal points, and that will always result in something kind of funky happening. So mathematically speaking, we'll do 212 and 49 cents minus 42.40, and that would be $170.09. So naturally his money went down because he kept spending it. I'm going to show you up here. Now we're going to deal with Sue. So Bob's done. Now we're going to deal with Sue. And here's what some of you I think missed is the word deposits. Now, if you don't know what a word means, you could use context clues to try and figure it out. But there's also no harm in just asking, especially now. So if you were to ask me or maybe someone else what the word deposit means, it means that you're putting money in the bank. So you're actually saving or growing money that way by putting it in the bank. So we shouldn't subtract $24.40 from Sue's money. We should be adding it. So Sue had $165 and what was it? 25 cents. And she's adding her money. Bob was spending, she's depositing. And she added $24 and what was it? $24.40. Okay, so I'm not even going to get the calculator for this. This is fairly simple. So she would have $189.65 at the end of the 5 weeks. So my answer to this question, by the end of 5 weeks, who will have more money? I would say Sue, has more money. But this is where a few of you got this right, but you missed one thing. The next question, how much more money does that person have? When you hear someone say how much more, those are clue words for a certain math operation. That would be subtraction. So there's one more step. You have to take Sue's money, $189, whoops, $189.65, and then you're going to subtract Bob's money from it so that you can see how much more money Sue actually has. And she has $19.56 more. So Sue is the winner, and she has $19.56 more. So there we go. There's your answer. Take a look at work that someone did here. I need to expand that. How do I do that? Let's see. There's my arrow. Okay. So I'll go in here and make this text bigger. Somehow. Let's see. How did I do that last week? I went there, and there it is. Okay, text size. Blow this up really large so you can see. So here's what one person said. Bob has more money at the end of 5 weeks. I know this because if you multiply $8.48 by 5, you get $42.40. Hey, that's correct. Then if you subtract $212.49 by $42.40, you'll get $170.09. Spot on, exactly right. Good job. Also for Sue, if you take 488 and multiply it by 5, you will get 24.40. That's correct too. Then if you subtract 165 by $24.40, you should get 140.85. This person subtracted instead of adding. I think this person probably didn't know what deposit meant, So that got them an incorrect answer. Bob has $29.24 more than Sue. That person even did the math to find the difference. They did almost everything right, except they didn't apparently know what the word deposit means, which is why I say always ask if you're not sure. So this person did a lot of really good work. They don't get full credit, though, because they misunderstood one of the terms in the question. So again, if you ever misunderstand something, ask. It's okay. You can ask. Or if you need to, you can use context clues. If you're taking some kind of test where you're not allowed to talk about it, you can use context clues. All right, here is someone else's thinking. Oh, I know who this is. All right, so last week, Braden had an attempt at an answer and it didn't work out. This week, he did a great job. Congratulations, Braden. Sue has more money because Sue has 165.25. Wait, this isn't the right one. Oh, shucks. Sorry, not the right one. I will just say this. Braden did a good job. He got every step correct. He did forget one part, okay, and he wasn't the only one, by the way. That last part about how much more does that person have. So congratulations to all of you who got it right. Nice work. Glad you stuck with it. It's a challenging problem, but you did a nice job, and I can't wait to see what you do with the next puzzler. Good luck.